everyone, and welcome back to The Remedy, the second adventure in Steinhardt's Guide to the Eldritch Hunt. Last we left off, the party found themselves inside of the brewery that they were told to investigate. Which led to a small fight inside, which led to a shatter being used, which led to every enemy outside being brought into the inside, and a quick, hasty retreat through the back door. The party find themselves at the back door, with the door open into the midnight setting with the... well, you could call it midnight if it weren't for the fact that the moon is currently on fire and blazing as it fills up the sky, which I will share with you all. The lovely blazing moon as it scorches above and across the heavens. Leaving you with a few options. As I said, you stand there with the doors open to the streets. You know, outside there are two Corvian dwellers still unseen that were previously perched on the rooftops. You are also aware of the fact that you do technically have evidence of the church's wrongdoings. You have the falsified holy tonics. You are also aware of a mysterious light that appeared, or that you could see underneath the brewery itself. And while you decide on what to do, I'm just going to bring you to this very scuffed map that I made of the outside of the brewery. Hopefully you all can see this map. I don't have dynamic lighting on, so you should be able to.
This is a great map.
Yes.
Yeah, so these two lines are the open doors. These are the walls of the brewery. This is a fence, and whatever this mess is the street beyond.
Okay.
And as a reminder, you were tasked you were tasked with finding evidence that the church was in the wrong and is the cause of the sickness and curse going around the Ruby District, instead of the man who hired you, whose name I will get in a second, but he basically asks you, you know, the church think I'm the one who cursed this place. I think it's the church. Here is an area I think that might be causing the events. If you happen to find the church's wrongdoings in this area, I'll pay you extra. And you were indeed able to find falsified holy tonics.
All because of that shatter.
All because of that shatter. And as I said, you have that in your possession. I think either you, Twain, or Zenith have it in their possession.
I think I do, yeah.
And you're all standing at the doorway. You have the mysterious light underneath the brewery, and you know you have at least two Corvian dwellers likely waiting for you outside. What do you do?
God. Zenith, where do we go?
I don't think we have a lot of options in where we go.
We just need to get back to that guy.
Right, the path there is, in my opinion, pretty clear. I feel like we just need to get back to the shadows out of this building as quickly as possible.
That would be nice.
Dib, you said, is there an area to hide-ish over there at all?
So, let me mark out extra here. So all of this, you know, is courtyard. All this square is courtyard. It's dead grass, burning grass. I probably should have made it orange, actually. Then there's a fence, which, as I said, is marked in red. Beyond the fence is the city street, which would have... I'll draw some up real quick. Which would have... We'll use this color, like a burnt orange, which would have, like, houses beyond. So there would be, alleyways. You just have to make it to the street.
Just curiosity-wise, how lit up is the area?
It is pretty lit up, considering you are under a scorched moon. You think there is darkness within the alleyways, but there's the moon above you is also currently on fire and igniting the entire Ruby district. So it is pretty lit up. There is darkness, as I said, in like these alleyways. But beyond, like outside and beyond, it is pretty dark, or it is pretty lit up. Anywhere that couldn't cast shadow, like the building does have its shadow, the fence has its shadow, everything has its shadow because of the excess of light, but this open courtyard, for the most part, is pretty lit up.
How do we want to do this?
I'm usually supposed to ask you that when you kill something, but...
Well, I mean, we could try to go it quiet, or just mad dash it and probably attract an entire village on our head.
I mean, I'm pretty good at attracting the monsters.
Yeah. How quiet do we feel like we can be?
I think I can be quiet. Let's hope Roll20 thinks that.
Looking to the other two, are you Eldrinar? Are you Pupa? You guys feel confident?
DM hypothetical.
Mm-hmm.
Could Eldrinar run to here and then use acrobatics to like jump over the fire?
Well, this line isn't actually like a full line of fire. It's just representing that the courtyard, like, there are patches of grass that are on fire. This is just my poor reference. The green represents the fact that this entire area is grass. The orange represents that the grass is on fire.
Great map.
Yes. So there's not actually a wall of fire closing you in. It's just, imagine that there are patches of grass on fire.
Well, I'm down to try and sneak through, if you guys are.
Might be best if we... I feel like going quiet is best. I don't see any other option, actually. Not a safe one, at least.
No.
I guess we do
we should move.
like a group stealth check to get across or something.
I mean, you could always go back inside,
Yeah, that sounds awesome.
You said there was creatures waiting for us. Do we see where they are?
Give me a perception check.
Okay. Big old 10.
I will also try to check.
Sure, the two of you are peeking out the window, or the doorway.
Oh, good. Alright.
Alright. Zenith, you peek your head outside the doorway and look up towards the top of the brewery where you last saw the Corvian dwellers perched up. You do not see either of them. Twain, you peek your head out. You do know that there are 2 Corvian dwellers, but you can only see one.
Oh my god.
Still on the rooftop, keeping its half-human, half-bird-like features and its eyes perched upon the, like, peering out towards the various exits, just watching and looking out towards the vast areas, because they did hear the commotion. They, like, the one you can see does seem like agitated, and it's looking out towards the exits, but you only see one.
I hate this.
I mean, we could attempt to distract them before we sneak across.
Eldrinar has a plan.
What's Eldrinar's plan?
Eldrinar is to turn his pistol into a rifle.
Okay.
Can he stealth to about right here?
Sure. Give me a stealth check, please.
A 10.
Jesus.
Okay. So I'm going to say a natural 1 is going to be treated as a natural 1, despite it being a 10. You still rolled a 1. So my perception check for the Corvian Dweller just needs to not natural 1. If they get a natural 1, they're going to cancel each other out, and you're not going to be sneaky, but it's not going to see you, is how I would rule that, if it got a natural 1, which it didn't. So as you go, I'm going to put you maybe, like, on this square here. Just, you know, to represent, you know, you're walking out, you're trying to stealth. As you get forward a little bit, your footing, you know, you may be more used to stepping on the, you know, the streets and the alleyways rather than, you know, the foliage or whatnot of the city of Luyarna. And so you don't see the clumped up and crunchy dead leaves and part of a bush underneath you as you step on it, and this crunch lets out, which is going to alert the Corvian Dweller, who, for the sake of, as I said, he's on the roof. He is just going to be on this square here. But it will also alert the other one who moved position to the other side of the roof. And we're going to roll some initiative here, folks.
I'm sorry, you guys. I had a plan. My plan did not work.
As
I'm glad it happened to the stealthy guy.
Some fight music, shall we?
Yes.
Let me put their health bars on here, because they aren't here for some reason. Alright. Twain, I gotta add you manually.
Yay.
And then we need Zenith. And then we need the...
Oh, I thought I hit it. Sorry.
And then the Corvian Dwellers. Oh, yeesh!
Oh my gosh.
Zenith, what's your dexterity score?
2.
It also has a +2.
Or, yeah, 14.
Let's do a roll-off. Roll a d100. Whoever gets higher goes first. Well,
Yes,
I feel like I should just go first.
Damn it.
Which I go first anyways, because I got the higher number. And the better number.
Nice.
So this Corvian Dweller, the one who repositioned itself, is going to start flying 5, 10, 15, 20 right next to Eldrinar. And I need to consult the Scorching Moon. Okay, so the Corvian Dweller is going to come at you with its beak and its talons. So it's going to try and peck you with its beak first. Does a 13 hit?
No.
How about a no? So you, despite being the one to break stealth, the Corvian dweller, who thinks it has you caught off guard, rushes in, but you're just able to dodge out of the way of its strikes as we get to Zenith. And just as a reminder for map, despite there not being dynamic lighting, this guy is currently behind a door, this being the door, so you cannot see him. You can't see him now that he's landed on the ground. You do see this one in all its glory as it tries to murder Eldrinar, though, Zenith.
And that is the one that I'll have to look at. Let's... I still am holding my rifle.
Mm-hmm.
What do these things look like again? Birdish people?
They look like, let's see, let's see if I can get an image for you here. They look like, yeah, I will post it in our Discord. They look like humanoid, bird people.
Is it still flying?
It flew up to Eldrinar, but it did, claws on the ground. Or talons on the ground. It is landed.
Okay.
What are you doing to me?
Okay. I will... From where I'm standing, because of the range of my cantrips being doubled from my rifle, I will gravity whip at it.
Okay.
For a 19 to hit.
A 19 will hit.
That does 8 bludgeoning damage and pushes it 10 feet away from me to...
Okay, so 5, 10 pushed back from the gravity whip. Anything else?
Get some cover, probably. As she cocks her focus and takes a step back.
All right. Then Eldrinar.
Eldrinar's going to basically use his hand to like wipe the dust off him from I guess being inside the building and act like yeah. Is that okay? Like if he just like acts like he's wiping the dust off him?
Yeah, you don't have to ask. That is a roleplay thing that has no mechanic in the game.
Yeah, he just wipes it off. He looks back to Zenith. He looks to the bird person. He looks to Zenith. He looks to the bird person. And he says, I'm shooting him. Eldrinar's taking a knee.
Mm-hmm.
And he's going to steady aim fire.
Alright.
And to be specific, I am using the ability of the weapon.
Alright. You are using
Oh my god.
You're using the violent shot?
Yes.
Alright. So roll your attack.
And I will re-roll that 15.
Alright.
Does a 19 hit?
A 19 will hit. And then roll an extra 2d8.
And you did say it does count as a non-humanoid as well, correct?
It is indeed a beast.
Okay, that adds an extra d4 and then 2d8.
Alright, so you take a knee, and you all see the rifle in Eldrinar's hands kind of sparkle a little bit with the power of the moon, and it lets out this silent shot. But you see the effects of the bullet. It's almost like, the best way I can describe it is, you know those Nerf weapons that let out that whistle sound when you fire the like arrow.
Mm-hmm.
That's all you can hear, this faint whistle sound as it blasts out and the bullet connects with the dweller, and you see a hole in his chest essentially that blasts out from him, blood flying everywhere, and these feathers just go all over the place like an exploded chicken. And while it has done a lot of damage, leaving this gaping hole in this creature, you are still shocked to see that it is still standing. It is rough. It is hurt. It just took a blast that would take off any regular human's head, but it is still standing.
Well, 29 damage is all I can do. That's it.
Alright. The other Corvian dweller is going to 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, and it sees everyone. But it can't really do much more because it has to use its turn. So it's just going to finish its turn right there. Twain.
Yes. I am just gonna cast Dissonant Whispers on it.
Okay, the one directly in front.
Yes, the one right in front of us.
Wisdom save 16.
16. Hold on. Oh. Where the hell is it? Oh, there it is. Oh, alright, just saves.
So it's not going to use its reaction, but it is still going to take half damage, so roll 3d6.
Yes.
And let's see the damage numbers. 14, so half of 14 is what it will take.
7. And now Twain is also going to run back a little bit.
Alright. You can spend your movement. Well, I'm not going to change map, but if you want to go back into the brewery, we'll just say you're however many feet off map. Because right behind this square is the inside of the building.
Okay.
But if you're just
One more
staying
step.
outside by the doorway, yeah. Alright. Pupa.
Pupa will take a few steps inward and like quickly fill that space to make sure that her friend's back is covered, and then we'll go in with a strike with like one hand.
Alright. You do have advantage because of flanking.
What?
Flanking? Oh. I'm gonna be honest, I'm so zoomed out, I thought you were the monster, and you were here. That is my bad. I should zoom in, huh? A 7 would miss. That is my bad.
Yeah. That's all I can really do. I'm out of Kai points right now, so.
Alright. Well then, this Corvian dweller... luckily you do save Eldrinar from being flanked. It is gonna move back up because it has a grudge to settle. That won't hit, and that won't hit either.
Damn.
Zenith, back to you. Both birds are in line of sight. What's the play? If you are there.
I forgot I was muted. I was speaking.
Ah.
They are, they are there, and my friends are between the two of them,
Yes.
which makes it me not want to use any of my giant AoE spells.
Mhm.
So I will cantrip again.
Of course. Which one?
Let's try to knock one prone. I'll do the one that just went and
Alright, this
gravity spike at it.
All right.
That is a dexterity saving throw.
Dexterity saving throw 18
Rip.
for half damage. So not knock prone, but half damage.
Yeah, just the rifle she's holding coalesces into like a pale gold shard of light and tries to pierce through its leg to drop it to the ground, but it is very fast and just completely whiffs past its leg.
Indeed.
And she'll be, you two are doing great. And just stay where she is.
All right. Eldrinar, you feel Pupa spin behind you to back you up and prevent the other Corvian to get at you as you face down the one in front of you, and it is your turn.
So you say he's basically dead, right?
The one in front of you looks very hurt.
Can I go flintlock to the gut?
Sure, and I believe you don't take disadvantage on that, correct?
I'm gonna be honest, I'm not sure. I apologize.
I feel like I remember there being something from your subclass or your what you're playing that you do not get disadvantage on point-blank melee shots with firearms.
Could it be because the flintlock has the barrel to F property?
That is indeed what it is. So
Yeah.
take your shot.
Then to the gut. And it is Elven steady aim and everything,
Mhm.
by the way.
Staying down on your knee.
I will reroll the 17.
Mm-hmm.
Does a unnatural 20 hit?
An unnatural 20 will hit. As you blast into this Corvian dweller with a gut shot, and all that's left behind is a bleeding hole in its stomach as it drops to the ground.
That's all I got.
Alright, this Corvian dweller is going to swing on Pupa for a 21 with its beak. Does that hit Pupa?
A 21 does hit.
Alright, and then it's going to try and claw at you with its talons for another 21. Wow. And all it took was this guy getting into combat. So that's going to be 4 piercing damage and 1 fire. And then 7 slashing and 1 fire. As it rips and shreds into your puppet frame, leaving tiny scorch marks behind. As we go to Twain.
And just for funsies, he's going to cast Dissonant Whispers again.
Of course. Wisdom saving throw. Will it succeed again? It won't, by 1!
Let's go! And he
Uh,
takes 10.
You did it the first time for 16 damage.
No, I think that was just
No,
the save itself.
the damage is in there. So you see the 16
Oh, is it?
psychic.
Oh, shit. Alright.
And it has to spend its movement to run away, and this is its reaction. So Pupa, if you'd like, you get an attack of opportunity, as at 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30 right there. A 13 will indeed hit. I can't remember. Did you transform the weapon in our last session during the combat?
I think I did, but I'm not quite sure if it lasts that long.
Let's see.
I think it only lasts for like a minute or something.
Let's see here. As a bonus action, you pull the trigger to transform it. Yep. So it definitely would have been over. Okay. So that is 5 points of slashing damage. Alright, anything else from Twain?
No.
Alright.
He's going to chill and be scared.
Pupa, you are up. And the Corvian is looking pretty hurt.
She will follow and go in for an attack.
Alright. That will hit.
Another 3 slashing.
3. Wow, those rolls are bad.
Well,
Yeah.
killing it.
It happens. Even though, wait. I think that's running off of my... Oh.
Is it calculating correctly?
It's not. It's running strength instead of my dexterity like it should be.
Okay, I think that
I mean, that's
that
like
can
1
be
extra
changed.
damage, but...
Yeah, okay. I'll add on 2 extra damage for you until we get that fixed. 'Cause I was wondering, that doesn't seem right. Alright, if you can't get that fixed, I can go in and fix it.
I got it fixed. Thank you.
Alright, perfect. Do you want to re-roll an attack just to see what the damage difference would be?
It would literally just be 1.
Would it just be?
different.
Because I would give you another damage roll if you wanted, unless it wouldn't be a big difference.
It wouldn't be a big difference at all.
Okay.
It would only be like 1 damage.
So then I'm going to give you 2 points of extra damage from your last 2 rolls.
Alright.
To make up for that, as you slash into it as it tries to run. We go to Zenith. Who, if you're talking, make sure you're not muted. Yes.
Yep. I began talking while muted again. Thank you. Not used to this. Just without moving again, she does not want to leave the cover of the building until it calms down.
Mm-hmm.
She's gonna rifle out a ray of frost at the living one.
Okay.
That is only a 12 to hit.
A 12, unfortunately, will go wide and over the head and hit the iron fence, making it cold iron now.
Well,
Oh.
yeah, that's all she says.
Alrighty. Eldrinar.
I'll take a shot with my flintlock. And can I aim, if possible, specifically for its leg?
You certainly can.
Can I re-roll the 12, please?
Yes, you may.
Does a 15 hit?
A 15 does hit.
And let me add D4. 22 damage, I believe.
22 damage, and you send out this blast, and it just takes off the leg
Wait.
of this creature.
Wait, DM, I apologize. I didn't realize it added the 5 to the piercing. That's only 18, my bad.
You still kill it, as it takes off the leg, and the creature goes spinning in the air, letting out this caw of pain as it falls and dies. Leaving an eerie silence in the air, other than the flames currently burning the Ruby District.
Zenith is immediately still looking at the skies again, just pointing the end of her rifle on, looking around.
Would you like to give me a perception? That sounds like a perception.
Sure.
17. You do not see anything currently in the skies, again, other than the very bright burning moon and the occasional blast of flame that exudes from it. You can hear distant cries of various creatures, likely the cawing of other Corvian dwellers or other unknown horrors you have not yet encountered. But thankfully, your companion's rifle is silent, as there does not appear to be anything visibly approaching you.
Why you gotta say it like that?
Because these are eldritch abominations, which means they might be invisibly approaching you.
Sounds like it's time for a shatter.
Which, yes, you do also have to factor in the fact that there is a shatter that went off not too long ago, so you do know, like, you do hear the sounds of creatures. They could definitely be approaching, but you do not see anything currently in the skies above you, which is what you were asking.
I think it's our cue to leave.
I'd like to trade out my rifle for my revolver. And
Okay.
sneak as best as we can.
Also turn his pistol back or the flintlock back into the rifle.
Are you guys circling the brewery back to the front of the courtyard where all those bodies were, or are you going to jump the fence and into the alleyways?
I'm thinking alleyways.
I don't know. We can get jumped so easy in an alleyway.
We can be quiet in an alleyway.
That's true.
Unless Eldrinar rolls a 1.
Hey. There were no witnesses. It was quiet.
I'm okay with whatever, but we need to get back.
Well, if you're jumping the fence, give me an athletics or an acrobatics. If you're not jumping the fence, just give me a stealth.
Can I slither through the fence?
Yeah. I mean, I would still ask for an athletics or acrobatics.
You know what I mean, though, right? Turn into the goo form.
Oh, yes. You can,
The
you can find some shadow within the fence to be able to sneak through and squeeze your way through. But for everyone else, if you're going over the fence, I would like to ask for an athletics or an acrobatics.
Zenith, what do you think?
Seems
The
like
red thing is the fence?
Yeah, the red line is the fence.
Might as well. Just try to do it quietly.
Oh my god.
Zenith, do you need to make a roll, or are you able to float above it? I do know you can float.
I can float. I can float. How much does it exactly say? Let's.
If it's 10 feet, I'll give it to you. If it's only 5 feet, it's not a 5-foot tall fence.
You gain the ability to hover a few inches. No, I gotta go.
Okay. So
You can't hover more than a foot. Okay.
So acrobatics or athletics.
Weirdly, they're the same. So I'll do athletics. Nice.
So everyone else is able to make it to the other side of the fence, but you see Zenith kind of struggling to climb the spike-tipped fence.
As I begin to realize I'm falling, I'd like to just cast Levitate on myself.
Oh, okay.
Rather than eating shit. So she just kind of begins to fall, and then gracefully floats down, and then, like those astronaut documentaries, just grabs the fence while laying flat and just pulls herself over.
Okay. You are able to flip to the other side, and you are all able to make it to the other side and begin making your way back to the Rainwolt Manor. But you have to get there first. So everyone give me stealth, please.
I stealth in shadow form, if that's acceptable, DM.
That is acceptable, so you can do it with advantage.
Thank you.
Okay. Something's happening. Something is indeed happening. Because as you all begin making your way through the alleys and, you know, various passageways of Luyarna, you find yourself in almost like a square of the town. You know, there's a dilapidated fountain that hasn't seen use in a while. And as you begin walking, doing your best to stealth your way through, several fallen Luyarnans begin making their way out of the shadows, having heard your approach, and strike with an ambush.
Oh no!
So they're all gonna get a free turn on this surprise round, but we will still roll initiative.
It's a rip in the chat.
It was a good run.
Good game, guys.
Okay, Twain, you got a 10.
Jim, how long has it been? Has it been more than 10 minutes since I casted Levitate?
I'll say it's on the, if you want it to be over, we can have it be over, but otherwise you're on the cusp of it ending.
Like maybe a few turns?
Yeah, you'll probably have a good 3 more turns in it.
Fair.
But
Not
all
a
of
complete waste of a spell slot.
all of the fallen Luyarnans are going to go. They're going to get a free turn here. The ones not close enough are just going to dash through. 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30. 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30. This one, 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30. 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30. 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, and it's going to try and claw at Eldrinar, which I actually need to look up how surprise rounds work. I don't know if it's an auto, I don't think it's auto crit, but I do know something special happens. I think it is advantage.
That sounds right.
Let's see here.
I'm gonna turn the music off if you're gonna be complaining.
Let us find out.
Cut it out!
God, I can't find it. These rules... No one knows what a surprise round is. I'm going to say it's going to be advantage on their attack rolls. And we will have that rule stick. Even if we find out it's not, we're just going to have that rule stick, because that's what I am saying now. So it's going to take its clawed hand, and it would have advantage anyways, because pack tactics, and it's going to try and strike at Eldrinar. I don't think a 13 hits you, Eldrinar.
Nope.
So this one's going to spend its turn. 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30. 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30. Alright. Top of the round, Fallen Luyarnan. Pack tactics advantage against Eldrinar. Does a 23 hit you?
Badly, yes.
So that is going to be 8 points of slashing damage and 1 point of fire damage, and it is your turn. What are you doing?
I am thinking for a moment.
There are 2 bearing down in front of you and 2 more approaching from behind.
So right now I have my rifle. Pity. I'm gonna bonus action disengage.
Okay.
I'm gonna go here.
Alright.
I'm gonna shoot him.
Alright.
And you know what? Why not? I'll use the special move.
Going for a violent shot. That hits.
And are they humanoid?
They are indeed a humanoid.
Are they one of the ones that you mentioned before that are like 2 different things?
They are. They are bestial and humanoid.
So it would go off then, correct?
It would
The
indeed
D4?
trigger.
Okay, so that and then 2d8. 22, 31, 35 damage.
You strike out this silent but vicious shot, and you just plaster its brains all across the ground as it falls.
Wow.
Yeah, that's all.
Alright.
That's all, folks.
That's all she wrote for that fallen Yarnan as we go to Pupa.
Pupa blows her second charge of her electric chainsaw.
Revving the
or
sword.
Yeah, and then goes in for a 2-handed swing.
That hits.
14 damage.
Now that damage feels more like it.
Yeah.
You bring the saw blade into the creature as the sparks fly off and electrocute it. It is still bearing down on you with its vicious, like, blackened teeth and its clawed arm, but you do take a good chunk out of it.
Alright, that's all I can do for now.
Alright. This one back here is going to try and hit good old Twain.
No, don't.
Twain, my boy. How's the 22 for you?
Just hits.
As it strikes down on top of you for 9 points of slashing damage and 1 fire damage. They roll twice, but the first one is the correct one.
Cool.
So yeah, 9 slashing and 1 fire, and it is your turn.
Sweet. Well, I'm gonna use Old Reliable, and I'm gonna use Shatter.
Oh!
Because, I'm going to put it right here. That way I don't hit Pupa
Let's see.
as well.
What is the...
Let me pull that. Hold on. Wait. There we go.
10-foot sphere, so... Like that, let's see, like that.
Yeah.
Okay, and they have to make...
Con saves.
On saving throws, indeed. 1, 2.
Ooh, they both fail.
And they're going to take 14 points of damage.
Yeah.
They both take the damage. The one in front of Pupa looks very hurt. The other one still is ready for a fight. All of this debris, all this, wooden debris shatters and gets sent flying everywhere. Any old and destroyed stone also, cracks and breaks even further. Whatever statue might have been in this fountain crumbles to the ground. and lets out that loud ringing noise of a sudden crack. Anything else, Twain? You just standing in front of the... Or are you going to risk movement?
I think I'm going to stay where I am and just pray.
All right. Zenith.
All right, let's. I don't really have a lot of other options at the moment. Let's go for another cantrip. We're going to try to knock prone with a gravity spike on this one. So 1 dex save, please.
1 dex save is what you will get, and it will fail.
Okay, I also get to re-roll that number if I want, due to my reckless fire.
Okay, ooh.
And I think it will. Don't be a 1. Let's go! 9 piercing damage then, and it is knocked prone.
9 piercing, and it goes prone. As you spike it in the foot, and it drops to the ground. Any movement?
No, she wants to stay next to Twain.
Okay. Well, it's its turn. And it's gonna stand back up. And it now has 15 feet of movement. There's a... this is technically a walkway. There's still enough space, so it's gonna 5, 10, and go 15 right here, and try and swing on Zenith.
Oh.
Does a 20 hit you, Zenith?
Yes.
You are going to take 3 points of slashing damage and 1 fire damage. The one in front of Pupa is going to strike at you with pack tactics because it has an ally nearby. Does an 18 hit you, Pupa?
Yes.
That's going to be 5 points of slashing and 1 fire. Eldrinar. The one in front of Pupa is looking very rough. Actually, both next to Pupa are looking pretty hurt. And the one you see that is behind Twain looks fresh as can be for this fight.
I'll try to finish this one off.
Alright.
I'm going to reroll the 10.
Mm-hmm.
17 hit.
I can confidently tell you, you don't even need to roll damage, but if you want to, you can just to see what you would get, because you will kill it.
I will then, if that's cool.
Let's see what the damage would have been. Yes, you obliterate as it just drops in front of you, Pupa, with a sudden shot, and the momentum like carries it over and drops it to the ground.
That's it.
Alright, and Pupa, it is your turn.
As soon as she sees the, like, whiplash of, like, I'm sure its head, like, just, like, suddenly going out of her vision, her, like, eyes narrow, and she immediately swings to the side next to her, for this one.
Alright. That will hit. Ooh! How... I think this is the first kill with the electric saw blade. I might be wrong. You might have gotten one last session, but even so, how do you want to describe the visceral kill?
Like fast, like swing, sudden slow-mo as it like cuts through its neck, and like you just see like the spark leaving its eyes as like the head's coming down, and like electricity is like bouncing off the blade and like hitting like the brain and like keeping it alive a little bit longer as it hits the ground.
Oh! So not only are you cutting into it and, right into its skull, but the very process of what your weapon is made of is keeping it alive even further as it feels the pain of being sliced into. Brutal. Love it. Any movement as you just eviscerated this guy's head.
Yes. Almost like in the same motion. Like before the head even hits the ground, she is like kind of like twirled around and relocated herself here.
Okay. Perfect.
That will be the end of her turn.
This fallen Yarnan now has 2 targets, one who just eviscerated its fellow and small man. So I'm gonna roll a d4. 1 to 2 will be Twain, 3 to 4 will be Pupa. It's going for Pupa. It wants some eldritch vengeance as it strikes with a 22, which I believe does hit.
Indeed.
And you will take 4 slashing and 1 fire. Twain, you probably felt the feeling of, the jolts from the saw blade as it struck the Yarnan behind you, and even if you didn't see it as you're focused on the one in front of you, you definitely felt the possible blood spurts and then the body collapsing next to you with an eviscerated skull. As Pupa, almost in slow-mo, has suddenly appeared next to you to take this swing.
And she she is currently like looking torn to shit too, and like parts of her are like twitching, like, or even her eye, like one of her eyes is like just randomly like sporadically twitching with like random sparks coming like throughout her body randomly, and then like back into the sword.
Holy crap.
There is an electrified puppet next to you, and they are looking battered and torn, and they just shredded a Yarnan, and it is
and
your
I'm
turn.
Still terrified. Oh, well, I'm gonna use the other old reliable and use Dissonant Whispers
Of course.
on the other gangster.
All right, that is a Wisdom saving throw. That is a 12. It fails.
Get wrecked.
So roll 3d6. Five points of damage.
Wow, big money.
But here's the thing. It spends its movement 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30. And because it's not an action or reaction, technically you also get an attack of opportunity. Both you and Pupa can swing on it.
Where the hell?
Would I be able to do a two-handed swing?
You would be able to.
Yeah. Ooh.
An 11 will unfortunately miss.
I do have a dagger, but hold on. Isn't that just a D4?
Is it on your... It should be on your sheet under attacks.
I did not put it. Hold on. Oh, gosh. Yeah, I didn't even put it on this. Like, I have it in my items, but I don't have it.
A dagger
the
is
actual dagger.
1d4 plus either your strength or dexterity modifier.
Okay, well, I'll roll... If I just roll with my dex, that'll just be, like, to hit, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
So a 15 would
15
hit. And then
Okay.
it's one, and then if you're using your dex, it'll be 1d4 plus your dex.
Cool. So it'll be 1d4 plus 2. Hold on. Okay, I'm just gonna do this. Okay, so 6.
Alright, you slice into its leg as it tries running. Perhaps because of how manic you are and charged up right now, Pupa, you miss the swing as it moves away. But Twain, you are able to slash at it. Is there anything else you'd like to do? Any movement?
Yeah, run away.
Okay, understandable.
Get me away from that thing.
Alright. Zenith, back to you.
Holding her revolver, she's just gonna reach out and attempt to gravity spike again.
All right.
Dex save.
Dexterity saving throw 17. So luckily
Well, it
it still
misses,
does
so.
damage.
No, it's a cantrip.
It says half damage.
Wait,
Is it a full miss or?
oh, it
Yeah.
does take half damage.
So
Oh, it's a cantrip that deals half damage on save. Interesting. Okay.
So you still do get damage. Are you staying where you are to block Twain?
I am, and I'm gonna re-roll the 2.
All right.
2, a 3. I don't think rounding matters, but you know,
Okay.
the total is now 8,
All right.
halved.
Eldrinar. There is one target left in sight.
Can I shoot?
You certainly can.
Can I reroll the 9?
You certainly may.
22?
22 hits. How do you kill the final Luyarnan from this ambush?
I shoot it in the leg gets blown off, it falls to the ground, just bleeds out.
Alright, so again, this silent bullet, just like with the Corvian Dweller, fires, striking the fleeing beast man in the leg as its bottom half right under its knee just gets blown out and goes flying down the alleyway as it drops, and it bleeds to its death, leaving you all there. Again, the dark alleyways, this eerie silence, nothing but the burning moon and maybe the sounds of burning buildings around you. As you know, you have to get back to Rainwolt Manor. And if you are
really
still,
need to get back.
If you are still moving, I will ask for another group stealth check unless there is anything you do. I know, Pupa, you're in that manic electrified state.
I cast Mending once or twice on Pupa quick.
Yeah.
I will cast Mending twice on Pupa.
What would that be? 4d6?
I believe, I think I would treat Mending as a healing word, which is... Unless you have something on the puppet.
I believe with constructs, I think they have a rule now that it's just like, it essentially lets you use hit die.
Yeah, let's see here. I do know, I think we did talk about that and agree on that for the puppet. Let's see. I have that in but a second for you. Yes. When Mending spell is cast on you, you can spend a hit die, roll it, and regain a number of hit points equal to the roll plus your Constitution modifier. So how many times are you using Mending to repair Pupa, Eldrinar?
I guess twice to see how Pupa feels after that.
She's definitely gone from her falling apart state to a more she has some cracks on her, but she's looking a lot better.
I guess once more just to be safe.
Alright, so you take a couple of minutes, 3 to be precise, and spend that time to mend Pupa. You'll get another roll, Pupa, as Eldrinar, takes his time to repair you and fix you up. Is there anything else you'd like to do beyond that, or are you booking your way back to the Rainwolt Manor?
About how far would we assume we are?
Give me a history check, please. You don't exactly remember the pathing from the brewery or from the manor to the brewery. You know you walked for quite a bit. You assume that you maybe have, quite some more time, some more blocks to cover before you get there.
I'll also try to remember.
Sure.
Okay, well,
Can I attempt to assist as well?
I'll allow you to assist if do you want to assist in giving them advantage, or are you assisting and you see them trying to figure out how long it's going to take and you try and remember as well?
I try to remember as well.
Sure, give me a history. You guys know it's going to be a walk.
oh my.
So what's the plan?
Plan
Yeah.
is to try and get there, I guess.
You guys want to stealth?
Who wants to be naked?
Wait, I guess the only question is if we want to try to take a breather in one of these hopefully abandoned houses, or if we just walk all the way back.
Eldrinar would say the longer we take, the more chances we have of being attacked.
He's right.
All right, let's keep walking then.
All right, group stealth check, please.
Oh, please, please, please.
I'll go fluid mode if that's cool.
Mm-hmm.
Yay! We're doing so good.
All right, Zenith and Eldrinar are able to cover both of you. You at one point, as you're skirting through the alleyways, you do see a group of these werewolves, these lichens that have these burning fur and burning claws as they leave like burning claw marks on the very street itself. As maybe Zenith grabs you guys who are making more noise than usual and push you back into the alleyway, preventing you from being spotted, and you're able to continue down towards a darker alleyway. Give me one more group stealth, please.
Oh my god. Oh.
Okay.
Okay.
Well,
So, here's what happens. You can see the gates of the Rainwolf Manor aren't too far. However, I'm going to say what happens here is Twain and Pupa are going to be falling a bit behind. Eldrinar, you're able to make it to basically like half a block away from the gates. However, Zenith is really lagging behind, and as you all turn around, you do see at least a small grouping, maybe 5 or 6 fallen Luyarnans are making their way up the block. They spot Zenith and begin moving towards you all. So I'm going to first of all, I'm going to move us all here, and I'm going to heat things up a little bit, and we're going to use this song, Ignite the Fire. As you see this group approaching, I'm not going to put us in initiative yet, as the fallen Luyarnans are still a ways back. So here's the situation. I'm going to use our tokens on the board. Eldrinar is where he is. Twain and Pupa are about right here. Zenith is all the way down here.
oh my god.
So, I'm going to go in order from top to bottom. Eldrinar, you turn around, you see Zenith is lagging behind pretty far. You see the horde of fallen Luyarnans making their way up the street. What is your immediate reaction? How do you try and prevent a group fight?
You said that they see him clearly, and they're
They-
starting to come towards him.
They are starting to move up the street. They do see Zenith. They have not broken out into a sprint yet. They are about a block away, however. So if you're able to get good rolls, you have a chance to get into the gates without a fight.
Do I see anything near them, like a bell or something that could be made to be loud?
Give me a perception check. .22. It's far. It's beyond a couple of streets. You see maybe it's 2 or 3 streets away from your group. But you do see standing tall does appear to be a guard tower that does have a bell at its very peak.
Can I attempt to shoot it?
Roll me an attack.
Can I steady aim this?
You certainly can.
Can I reroll that 16?
Sure.
22?
Okay.
22. The bullet silently whizzes through the air, striking the bell, and you do all hear this faint, ring, 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 go off as the bell shakes from the impact of the shot. Zenith, I'm going to go immediately to you. The bell sounds off. You are the closest to this oncoming horde. What do you do to either get out of line of sight or catch back up with your allies?
How many?
There's a good maybe 6 to 7 fallen Liarnans approaching.
And they're about how far?
They're about maybe a block and a half away from you, but they did spot you up through this, streetway. However, the bell did just ring, so their attention is turning, but they still see you in sight. So, what do you do to finalize them moving to the bell instead of encroaching on you?
Well, I don't have any more fancy magic tricks in the tank.
Warlock.
I think she's just gotta gun it. Sprint as hard as she can. She's not used to using her legs, but she's ready to go.
Okay. If you are, for the sake and purpose of this, if you are dashing, if you will, I will allow you to make me an acrobatics or athletics at advantage. Yeah, with advantage.
Don't fuck me. 21.
21.
Hey.
You are able to make it to your group in time, and you're able to make it to the gates and get behind safely into the manor as the speed of your newly used legs outpace the attention span of the Liarnans as they go down the block and towards the bells that ring. And you are able to make it inside the manor.
Hell yeah.
Okay. We are working together more often. You two are great. Twain, you know how I feel about you. You two are very good at this.
I'm just glad we got back in time.
I'm glad we got back, all 4 of us. There was a moment there I was genuinely thinking we were going to get twice the reward.
That was worrisome. Well, we probably shouldn't keep him waiting.
Right. Just catch my breath. I'm not a sprinter.
Before we go, and if you don't mind, Eldrinar would say hold up.
Oh.
And He wants to check the door to make sure nothing freaky sounds like it's on the inside. Like if something broke in and there was a big fight or something, like he wants to just make sure that all is right inside before they go in, if that's acceptable.
Of course. Give me a perception check. You put your ear to the door, the one you were previously led through by the orc spy. Nothing sounds out of the ordinary. Maybe you do hear the faint sound of a fire, but you do know he has a fireplace within his waiting room. So it's probably just blazing right now. But nothing out of the ordinary within the manor do you hear. So do you open the door and go inside?
Can I slither my way in?
You certainly can.
Oh, I guess I'll keep walking.
All right. If you all go inside, you would see that Lord Rainwolt, the half-elf noble who bid you to go on this quest, would be waiting in his little waiting room. The couple of, couches and the flames at the fireplace. He's sitting on an opposite couch from a table, like a little tea table in the middle that you had tea previously in. And you do see the half-orc spy who guided you here is also, like, right behind him, with his arms crossed. And as you enter, Lord Rainwolt kind of stands up and sees you all and says, it is good to see you all. I presume you found what I asked you of?
We did. You were right. The church was framing you. And I'll pull out the vials.
He puts his hand out, as if asking to see it.
I
You
hand
give
it
it to
to
him.
him.
He takes it, looks over the fake vial, and he says, "Oh, well then, this is very good news indeed. As promised," and he looks at Madden, the half-orc, who goes into his side table and takes out a couple of pouches. "It is very good that we get to expose the church on this day. As promised, your reward for finding the source, as well as extra for finding evidence of the church's wrongdoing." And Madden places these several pouches on the table, which if you look inside, there is one pouch that contains 200 gold, and 4 individual pouches for each of you of 50 gold. So the 200 gold is party, and the 50 gold is individual. Each of you get 50 gold. The 200 is towards the party for a job well done.
Can Eldrinar ask him one quick thing, if that's acceptable?
Of course.
He would ask him, and he'd say this is purely a gut feeling or a thought. I have no evidence. Is there anyone you can think of that has it out for both you and the church?
I can't think of anyone who would have it out for both of us. I know the church has it out for me already as is. But I might have to bring that into consideration now. Thank you for asking that question. Perhaps I'll double up on security around my manor.
Just, Eldrinar would say he has no evidence again.
Mm-hmm.
but he has a feeling that is there a possibility that someone could be attempting to frame you and the church to pit you against each other for their own gain.
Well, anything is possible, surely, but this should be evidence enough that the church is at wrongdoing here, not someone else. They've been blaming me for this black magic for quite a time now. So if it is someone else doing, it is quite an elaborate ruse.
Eldrinar would just ask if he could, at the very least, keep an eye open for it to see if potentially it could possibly be true, because once again, it's just a gut feeling.
Of course. I will have people look into it, just like I will be hiring some more outside hunters, maybe some more guard to look into this brewery and investigate it further. I thank you for the proof. You have done well, and I will be sending more men to investigate and find even further proof of wrongdoing by the church's hand. This is enough to get a full-blown investigation going. But for now, you're more than welcome to stay and wait out the scorch, if you would like, within my manor. You have done well. The hunter I previously hired left while you were gone. But he did ask me to say that if you ever find yourself in his part of the city, to stop by. You are always welcome.
That's very kind of him.
And at that, as he pays you all and gives you the farewell from Caspar, the Dwarven hunter, whether you stay within the manor for the night or head back outside the gates on your own way, that is where we will have our session end. And the adventure titled The Remedy comes to its conclusion. So thank you everyone for being a part of this adventure, and we will see you next time as we find this group of characters heading to the Vile Village.
Jeez.
So we will see you next time.